as that goes live, because this is going to be on YouTube. So how I'm going to record it. Zoom goes right into YouTube, which is really nice. And so let it go. Let me get it going. Okay, good. Now I can just, there it is. All right, I'll just get rid of this. Okay, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. I gotta find this thing here and get this going like this. Okay, so we're here to how to work from home, even if you have major distractions or you just can't get yourself moving. So, this is what I deal with all the time. I have, I've been doing this for 15 years since I left LA and moved to Israel. And it's challenging. And this is kind of like that picture sort of sums it up a little bit, with everybody running around and all the things that we have to do and trying to get work done. It seems to be almost the last thing that I can do, but somehow, with God's help, I get it done. So here, if you stay to the end, even if you don't stay at the end, I just put that there because this was some slides that my friend gave me. You don't have to stay at the end. I don't want to make anybody do what they don't want. And you're still going to get the presents. I have some presents for you. I think you're going to like them. Okay, so my goals for this training here is to have fun, and hopefully you're going to leave with a smile on your face. So that's the idea. That's my wife right there, my wonderful holy wife, and we were out on a beer tasting date, and so a little bit about who I am. And I call myself an online marketing practitioner, and I practice online marketing so you don't have to. It's kind of like when you go to you farm out other services like accounting. So, you wouldn't want to do that yourself. If you do, then that's great, but most people don't, nor do they want to do it. And so why would people they don't really want to do marketing either. They just want to get the business and do the job that they are trained to do, or they love doing. And, they'd love to farm out their marketing to somebody else. So that's us. That's I have my partner here, Shaq, and he'll introduce himself later. I also do epic virtual events, and I'm a life business coach. I'm the owner, partner of the Customer Service Professional Network with over 200,000 members on LinkedIn. I'm the marketing director of Mechinat Keshet Yehuda Integration Program. That's a pre-military academy here in Israel that I helped co-develop, and I'm still working there. As you can hear my voice, I'm a voice talent. And I'm a mountain bike Tai Chi enthusiast, and I wanted to put it at the bottom here, because it's the last, but certainly not the least, and it is certainly the most important. I'm a happy husband and father, and you see, I could probably go on and on about myself, right? But I ran out of space. Okay, so I'm kind of, I have this. I'm kind of titling it From Imagination to Reality, because that's really how I got here. Is it all starts with your imagination, and then it comes to reality. So once upon a time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you about the dream, the daily struggle, and basically the acceptance that I can't do it all, and believing. So, I think I'm sure you're going to relate to these things, because we all have that. It's not that I have these are my exclusive things. This is what everyone that's living, we all have these we have our daily struggles just to try to accomplish our tasks. The sages of Israel, they said that a person when they die, they don't even die realizing half of the things that they wanted to do. So, it's not something that we should really make ourselves so crazy on. We do our best we can do the best we can, but we have to remember that, we're here, we're living, and there are more important things than say trying to, get your business going, which is important. But, it's the reason, the big why you're doing your business. Sometimes we forget that and make that to be a bigger, make it the goal. So I'll tell you, I had a dream, and I started when I was 18 years old, and I came to Israel, and I fell in love with Israel, I was planning to move here, but then I ended up going back to the States to get my stuff together, and when I got back, I got back into the life over here, and then the dream sort of faded away, like every dream does. When you go to sleep and you have your dreams, you wake up and all of a sudden you can't remember your dream. So that happened to me for about 20 something years, until about 20 something years later, I got a wedding invitation and here in Israel, and I decided to come to the wedding. When I came back, I remembered that I had a dream to live here. And now I was very rooted in a business, a family business. We had a nice business by the beach. I don't know if you know Venice Beach, but we were a few blocks from the beach. I lived by the beach, great business with the family every day. It's very nice. But I was 45, well, at that time, like 44 years old. And, I, uh, I thought to myself, when am I going to realize my dream? And so one day I walked into my father and I said, Dad, I've got to go. And he didn't like that idea, but when you got to go, you got to go. So, some things happened that, made this a reality. And I was able to come here and I had this idea, how was I, first of all, I'm going to make a living, because I don't speak Hebrew very well. And I didn't, and my Hebrew is not so good, but I'm coming at an older age, and I actually moved into a village in the mountains with only at the time 90 families, with no real skills. So, really, what was I thinking? And I'll tell you what I was thinking is that I'm a believer, and I don't give up, and I don't like. I just was speaking to a client who was asking me, because I gave them a plan that how we're going to do some work. And then they said, so what's the backup plan? And it never occurred to me to have a backup plan, because I don't think like that. And I told them there is no backup plan. I said, backup plans are for people who do not believe in what they're doing. They think that something's going to go wrong and they need to do something else. No, that's just an excuse, and it means you don't really believe it. Now, you might compare that to like jumping out of an airplane, and you could say that, well, hey, jumping out of an airplane, you have that extra parachute. Well, no, that's not a backup plan. That's just an extra parachute. You're still heading in the same direction no matter what. You're not going to be changing directions just because you have an extra parachute. You're still going to be going. So you stay focused on where you want to go. And that's what I did. And regardless of the struggles that I went through, and believe me, I went through some incredible struggles here in trying to survive. We ran out of money and there was no job opportunity. And my mother of blessed memory said that, I remember as a kid, she said, look, $10 is a lot of money if you don't have it. And I, as a kid, you don't really realize that, but when you really have that happen to you, when you have no money, and even like 10 cents is a lot of money when you don't have it. And it was incredibly difficult. Every night I would Claude, you had pray. Every night I would pray. I would give God my shopping list. And, it was every day he would provide something for me. And it just went on like that. Every night I said, look, God, I need bananas. I need milk for the babies. I need, it's not one of these prayers I said that, how you answer like in a couple of years from now. I says, no, this is stuff I need like tomorrow, please. And every day I would get more than I needed. And it was amazing, how that went. And I finally did land a job, and there was a job here. Even at the age I was, it just turned out that there was that pre-military academy here in Israel that they had, it had a program that they were trying to do, but they couldn't figure out how to do it. And I told them, listen, I can make it happen for you. You give me a chance and I can make it happen. In fact, I can make it happen. No one has to leave. I can do it all online. And they said, fine, we'll give you a chance. And you have 1 year to prove yourself. Well, with less than a year, I was able to fill the program up. And I've been at that job ever since. And I've helped co-develop it. Now, also, when I came to Israel, I had this idea. This idea was that there was this company that was one of our clients back in the States, Kaufman and Broad, KB Home. They were like the largest home builder in the United States. And they had a real problem with their customer service there. They had there was the customer satisfaction. Only 65% of their customers were happy. This was a dilemma for them. And they went into this whole thing where they actually rented out the hall in UCLA. They flew in all the divisions, and they even brought the vendors in. I was one of the vendors, and they just told, hey, look, we have to do something here. We got to make some changes. And it says, everybody's your customer. that's what they were telling the employees, divisions, vendors, everybody. And they came to me because we were doing employee recognition products. And they said, do you have any ideas for us? So I said, yeah, I'd have an idea. We came up with this golden hammer. It was a golden nail award. And that was like a little 2x4 block that we bought at Home Depot. And what we did is we drilled some little holes in it. And then we also got some nails from Home Depot and we spray painted those gold. And we got the hammer, we spray painted the head gold. And every time someone was recognized for something through a customer, a coworker, they would get a little golden nail. And it was amazing. They were having nail parties. Everyone went crazy, and we were producing like boxes and boxes of these blocks and nails. The employees were going nuts with these nails. And in fact, the CEO flew in and would actually deliver the nails himself. He'd do a surprise visit. And can you imagine how that was for the frontline employee, the CEO of a big company like that, to walk up and go, hi, Bob, I've heard so many good things about you. You know, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so said this and this about you. I heard about it. Can I put your nails into the block? Wow. Within 3 years, they went from 65% of their customers happy to 95%. And some divisions reporting 100%. And the employee turnover basically stopped. So that was a pretty successful program, I do say so myself, and I'm sure you would agree with me. So what I did is that at that time, everything was done by hand, but the computers technology was getting to where I could actually put that online. And I created a program called PraiseStar, and I brought it here with me to Israel. And that's how I was going to make my living originally, is I was going to sell this program because it works so well. But when I got here, I made over 1,000 phone calls. And finally, I had one company. It was the Charming Shops, 2,500 locations and 30,000 employees that said, yes, we want it. I was like, wow, this is great. And they asked me this really funny question, this before they were going to move forward with this. They said, I'd like to know, because the competitor was this big recognition company. They had 2,500 employees, and my company was me, myself, and I. So they said, so what's the difference between you, do you think, and this other company? Why should we do business with you versus them? And I happen to know they were not satisfied with that company. Why? Because they had bad customer service. So I said to them simply, because they had no idea how big I was. For all they knew, I had a whole bunch of people, but it was just me. And I said, well, I'm a small company. I said, and they're a big company. I said, it's harder to get things done with the bigger company. You have to go. I said, no offense to you guys. I said, it's harder, when there's problems, you have to go through so many different things and people just can't make decisions. So, the customer ends up suffering because of that. I says, with me, I'm a little company and you're talking to me. I says, I'm going to take care of you and I'll jump through fire hoops to make sure you get things done right away. And so they said, you know what? That's right. You're right. Okay. 30 days, you give us the proposal and we're going to go with it. I was like, wow, I'm set for life. So I thought. And so 30 days went by and I delivered on time the proposal and it was crickets, nothing. I was like, what? So I call them up, says, what happened? What happened is that in 2005, the recession hit. Was something like the corona. What happened all of a sudden, how everybody's out of work, and that was it. And it was just like no one was buying. They said, look, we like your program, but it's all hands on deck. We don't know what we can do. Now I don't have this account. I have no money. And this was a real problem. So what I did was I says, I'm going to start a LinkedIn group. Maybe somebody, at LinkedIn, I can reach out. Now I had no idea that this type of a program was really HR and not customer service. It was a shock to me to find out that customer service didn't understand this. And HR also didn't understand how this worked and how powerful this was. And no one understood it. So that's how I started the LinkedIn group for customer service called Making Excellent Customer Service a Standard. And I started, trying to get things going, but because of the recession, nothing happened. So I had to give up on that. And I just went into, survival mode. Couple years later, I get an email from England, and there is this a woman. She says, "We'd like to advertise on your LinkedIn group." And I'm like, by then I had completely forgotten I had a LinkedIn group. I'm wondering what's going on. I said, who is this person? What are they talking about? What LinkedIn group? So I look it up, and I see there's 9,000 people in the group. I'm like, what? I look and I see who's the owner, and it's me. So I thought, wow, I better do something about this. So I started to, work on it, and I reached out to another LinkedIn group. What's called Customer Service Professionals, who he was, and he still is, the largest customer service group on LinkedIn. And I said, his name's Steve Zanos, and I said, Steve, I said, what are you doing with your group? He said, I don't know. I says, well, I'll tell you what, let me take and start marketing it, and let's work together. He says, fine. So we went together, and we ended up with over 200,000 members now with this group. And I started to put together virtual summits and start working with these subject matter experts, and to help them get customers and things like that. So I started getting clients from around the world, and it's amazing, and how that all of a sudden turned into something which I can't take any credit for it whatsoever. It just this is just came from above. So but still, at the time too, I have a family, 3 children and a dog, and at that time, my wife at the time she was very sick, and she couldn't take care of the children, and that ended up, we weren't able to stay together. And I ended up with the children, and now I'm here with taking care of, as a cooking and cleaning and doing the laundry and just everything, taking care of kids, and and trying to work all at the same time, 2 jobs. And it was, as you can imagine, that was, it's a struggle. And thank God, about 3 years ago, I did remarry, but we still don't live together. We decided that because she has kids and I have kids, and we said, look, why don't we, until the kids get older, we got married, the kids didn't. So, that's a different story. We can go, I'd be happy to tell you if you're interested another time. But just trying to get stuff done every single day, and then finding there's like days goes by, I can't get anything done. And I have clients that I'm doing, and somehow I'm able to, get jobs done and meet the deadlines that I need to do. And I'm still always trying to get more business and take care of the family. And there's just days, I just can't get out of bed sometimes because it's just too much. So, I have to just let it go. They say, let go, let God, or let God, let go. Basically that's it. You have to accept the fact that you can't do it all. And the most important thing, and I'll, close the story here, is that you have to really believe in what you're doing. At no point did I ever turn back, or would I ever turn back. We went through a war. There was a terrible war. They're firing missiles at us and trying to, and I was getting phone calls. They said, come and get out of the front, because we're on the front line of this war. And I said, I didn't come to leave. I came to stay. I said, I'm not leaving. We're not leaving. We're staying here. That's why they're firing missiles, that they want us to leave. We're not going to do it. So, we believe, if you believe with your whole heart in something, you're ready to stand your ground. You're ready to dodge missiles. I can tell you that, from my own personal experience. And I'm glad that I did, because it pays off to follow your dreams. It's very important to go with your heart and live your life. There's no guarantees other than that, that you're going to go through your life, until whenever. So, it's important to stay believing in yourself. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. So what we're going to cover here is I'm going to show you an awesome tool that's going to keep you sane and productive. And it's also going to help you get yourself moving even when you don't feel like it. And I have some cool, healthy recipes that keep your energy up and help you lose weight and maintain it. That's a good one, right? and how to follow your dreams. So at this point, I'm just going to ask if there's anybody have any questions. Go ahead and let me see. I can't. Where is it? If you have some questions here, I've got something here. What's this? Okay. All right. I'm looking at the chat here. So if you want to unmute and say something, go right ahead. Okay. So if not, then just go ahead and type your questions all inside the chat. You have something right here. So first of all, how many here have heard of the Pomodoro technique? If you have, or if you could type in the chat, you have or haven't, I'd be interested to know. Or did you guys fall asleep in my story? I wouldn't blame you, believe me. Have not. Okay. No, Tim, have not. Oh, okay, cool. I'm excited about that. Well, this thing saves my life when I do it. I don't always do it. And that's the thing, we don't always do these things, but, don't worry about if you don't have to always do stuff. It's like hitting the reset button. You can always go back. And the Pomodoro technique is a very, very simple tool. You can get all these little apps. Like I have an app, I'll show you mine. And it works like this. You get them on your phone, you get them on your computer. It's free. It's not a big thing. It works like this, is that there's this like you decide on a task to be done, and you need to work uninterrupted for 25 minutes. Okay. You do no phone, no checking your email, just focusing on whatever that task, your one task that you're supposed to do. You focus on that task. And after 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. You do a set of 4 of these, and then you take a 15 to 30-minute break. On my app, it's a 20-minute break. Now, for me, this is vital. Why? Because I need that 5-minute break because I'm sitting too much, number one. And I don't know how many of you out there, I'm sure you probably can relate to this, that we just get too in our chair. Can you relate to that? Is that something that you can relate to? Anybody here? Yeah. Okay. Tim says, yeah. It's like we got, and we have to, and Claudette. Yeah. Okay. So, definitely. All right. See this is what we're talking about. And so you get these breaks and you get up. Okay. Get up and stretch out. I do some Tai Chi. I do some Qigong. I don't know if you know what that is. It's just real simple exercise. If you want to know what it is, I can show you. These are very simple things, but just get up, walk around. I need those things because I need to do dishes. I need to put another load of laundry in. I need to, go, do something where I just need to go get some air, whatever. But I got 5 minutes to go do what I have to do. And remember, don't be like, you have to be exactly 5 minutes, do the things you need to do. That's when you check your email and make it, but stand up, do all that stuff, standing up. And you do, so that way every 25 minutes, you get a break. Now, sometimes what happens is that you get into your thing and you want to keep moving. So that's okay. Keep moving and just, go through your break and keep moving through it. But it's not recommended. It's recommended to stop, let your brain rest a little bit, get your body moving a little bit, and you're going to feel tremendous energy and very productive. You get so much done when you're able to do this and you stay fresh. And that's the part that when you don't feel like doing something, just hit the button, and you can't get yourself started. Just hit the little button that starts the timer and just pick that task, pick the button, and you'll see you start doing it. And then your energy just starts, because you're doing this and because you're taking those breaks, you can just about do anything, any kind of tedious task. It really, really works. So it's as simple as that. And you can look it up, the Pomodoro or the tomato, it's called the tomato timer, I guess in Italian, Pomodoro is tomato. And so what you can pick one up. I'll show you mine, and they're free. It's nothing. I'm not here trying to sell you the Pomodoro technique. I'm just sharing this with you because it's amazing. And I'd love to know if you do use this, please send me an email and tell me how it's working for you. Okay. And again, it's only as good as if you do it. I myself, I do it. I fall off the wagon. I get back on the wagon. But I know every time I do this, my energy level is up and I get so much done and I'm not burning myself out. Now, I do take naps in the middle of the day because what happens is that when you work at home, because we're talking about working from home, is that the day gets very blurry. I mean, I can work all day long and I'm just working and working and working. There is no time where you go, no time when you leave. So it can get very, Very good. Yeah, Tim says naps are good. Yeah. So I start my day somewhere around, depends, from 5 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock, depends what I'm doing, and then I'm going till midnight. But there's a burnout time. My burnout time is about 2:30, and I go with it, you know. So that is something that, it's okay. I mean, give yourself those rests that you need, and take your time. When you get your 20-minute break or 25, your bigger break, then, go outside, get some air, take a walk around the block, just take that time for yourself and don't think about your work. Okay. Cause then it's amazing how much when you don't think about stuff is how much that you can really focus on something. So that's, I believe, probably how the brain works. Let's see. Okay. So let's talk about the food, right? Foodie on a diet. I call myself the foodie on a diet. Okay, because I lost over 20 pounds and I still ate like a horse because I love eating. That's why I call myself a foodie on a diet. I had to devise some, some stuff because I love food so much, I had to come up with some inventions. Okay, so I'm gonna make you hungry now. Hang on, watch. First I gotta tell you the story. Okay, the refrigerator is now my friend. Okay, my problem is that, and it wasn't always my friend, because what happened here is, no problem. Take care, Claudette. So the the refrigerator is very close to where my desk is, so I find myself gravitating on those 5-minute breaks over the refrigerator. So I had to find some recipes that would fill me up and satisfy me, and at the same time that wouldn't cause me to get tired and burned out. And one of the things was that I got off of sugar. Sugar is a big killer. I mean, that's a burnout, and there's all kinds of foods that turn into sugar. But one of the foods that I found that I discovered was like this amazing food here is the red lentil. Okay, this is a red lentil tortilla, which can also turn into a red lentil pizza crust. And they're very, very, very simple to make, and they're delicious and very satisfying. If you ever had, does anybody ever had one of these things? Go ahead and put in the chat. Let me know if you've had that before, the red lentil tortilla. Uh-oh, Tim's like going, what? Yes, yum. Oh, Kelly knows. All right. Okay. So this one here is just, I made this just yesterday. This is like, my kids love these things. I get my kids eat healthy food with this, and it's just it's amazing. I use 5% cheese, because what I'm doing. So I put cottage cheese on there, and that really, the cottage cheese is, works very well. You make tacos in there, they work very well. But the main thing about them is that no, it's not a hamburger, it's pizza. So it's very satisfying. And when you eat this, you feel like you are, you don't feel hungry, you feel good. It doesn't zap you, it keeps your energy up. And you can, like, I love chicken, so I put chicken in there and make, all kind, and it's great. And really, and they're easy to make. So let me tell you how to make them, if you don't know how to make it. Very, very simple. Okay, you just go and you get some of the red lentils. They even sell the powder. You can buy the powder, but I just buy the red lentils themselves, and I put them into a blender with about one cup of lentils to about a little bit more than 1 cup of water. You want to get like sort of a pancake batter type of a consistency. Put a little salt in there. Then you get yourself a non-stick pan and no oil, and you heat the pan up, really hot. You get it hot. Your first ones might not come out good because your pan isn't ready yet. That's okay. The second one's gonna be beautiful. You get a little spatula, you flip, you cook it like a pancake. You pour the batter into the pan, so it's about the size of the pan. Flips right over. That's it. You've got yourself a tortilla here. And for the pizza, is that what I do is I cook it on one side, then I flip it over to the other side. So now that side's hot. I put the tomato sauce or whatever you want to put, the cheese, and let it all melt up. And then I cut it up with one of those pizza slicers like you see up there. And I'm telling you, it is good, and it will not burn you out. And there's calorie wise, we're talking not much. Okay, here's my other recipe for you. I call this the Norito. This is cool. Now, the Norito is in fact, this one here has some brown rice, but I do another one also, which I take, and for the Spanish rice, I use quinoa. I make Spanish quinoa. I make my own salsa, which is a very simple thing to do. You could just get some tomatoes and you just pit the tomatoes and you roast the tomatoes. You don't have to take the skins off. You take tomatoes, and the secret ingredient in the salsa is ginger. Oh, and then you put some cilantro in there and some salt and some onion, and you put garlic, and that's about it. Oh, a lemon and some lemon juice, and that's about it. You mix it all up, and you put that salsa inside the lentil. I'm not the lentil, but the quinoa, and you have this amazing Spanish quinoa that you put inside, and it really works well inside the Dorito. And you put some chicken in there, and then for the beans, I'm just using the brown lentils, which work just like the refried beans. So, where did I get the picture? I just stole it off the internet. but it is so easy to make. Now, I'll tell you what I've done lately. Instead of using rice, I discovered I take the lentil and I put it on the inside of the nori sheet, and then I put all my ingredients. Then I roll it up, and wow, it's like, it is so good for something like that. Okay, so any questions to this point? No. All right. Did I make you hungry? Did you, Micah? Yeah, I made up the name. Okay, there we go. All right. So how to live your dreams. Okay. No, just had lunch. That would never stop me. I'll tell you that right now. So anyway, so how do you live your dreams? Okay. So I'll just tell you how the way I do it, and we're gonna move on to this for a minute. Is that it starts with a true desire, and it's that it has to be something that you really really want, and it's so important that you know what you want. I work with these boys at the pre-military academy, and they're young, so and I ask them, what do you really want, and a lot of them don't even know what they really want. So how do you find out what you really want? Okay. I heard it once said the imagination is the language of the subconscious. And I love that. I don't know if you ever heard that yourself, but I think that's fantastic. And you can use that. And I'll show you how. So how do you know how do you really know what you want? Really? Because if it's not something that you really want, it's not going to happen. I'll give you a quick story on that. Is that my son wanted a snake. And, and I told him no, but I told him, but I don't want you to give up asking me. He says, what? He was look confused. And I told him, because if it's something that you really want, it's your dream. Don't give up on, even if someone tells you no, you keep going for it. He says, well, are you going to say yes? I said, no. He says, but why should I bother? I said, because if it's really what you want, I says that you'll find a way to get it. I said to him, because and it's true, I might change my mind, but if you give up, and why will I care? Because I don't want a snake. So he went into this whole big campaign and putting snake pictures all over the house and asking me every day for about 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks, all of a sudden there's no snake pictures. And then there was there was no more asking for the snake. Well, a few days later, he comes to me and he says, hey, Dad, I'd like to get this game. I said, what happened to snake? He says, oh, I'd rather have this game. I still want the snake, but I really want the game. And you see, he really didn't want the snake, because if he really wanted it, he never would have given up. And so how much, if you relate that to yourself, how do if you wanted things, but after a while you didn't really want it, then it really wasn't a true want. But there is something I'm going to call it, let's go want shopping. So, how do you figure out what you really want? Use your imagination. And what you do is that you take yourself want shopping. So how do you do that? Is it's kind of like going to the store and buying some clothes and trying on different clothes to see which one fits. The same thing with what you want. Use your imagination, picture the thing of what you want as if you really have it. Take yourself to the place where you actually have this. How does it feel like? How does it smell like? How does it look like? What is it? Does it match other things? You have other wants too, because there's a thing called value conflicts where, there might be two things that you want, but you realize that, they conflict. Or, let's say the thing that you want, let's say you want to start a business, but you have to work 20 hours a day, and but another value is to be with your family. So that's not going to work. So that's kind of like going to the shop and saying, this jacket's too big. Let me try another one on. So try another one, another idea. Keep going, once shopping until you find that perfect fit where you're going, that is, I can see it, I can smell it, I can feel, I'm there right now. Yeah, that fits perfect. You don't even need to know how to get there. You will naturally find your way over there as long as you stay believing in with your heart what you want, and that's how you're going to get there. So if anybody needs any help with that, I have decided to come up with an imagination to reality workshop. And I'll send you more about that. And I'm not going to be doing any sales pitches here, So I just wanted to have some fun, and hopefully you're going to leave with a smile on your face. And this time now is for some presents for you. Okay, so I told you I'm going to give you some presents. Okay, what are my presents? I have some books. My friend wrote these books. He and his wife, and one's called The Cash Machine, and the other one's called The Size of Your Dreams. The Cash Machine they're both written in novel style, and this one will teach you financial independence. He went on a search to speak to different people about this, and it's more like a journalist. And how he came up with these ideas and how to use financial intelligence. So he wrote a book about it. You're going to get that book, the ebook, for free. And also, The Size of Your Dreams is a workshop that they're offering when you go, because I'm going to send you to their links where you'll get it. And then they have like a 6-week workshop that you can work with them on that. And also, I'm going to give you a ticket, the golden ticket to the Financial Independence School, which is, we're going to be doing a virtual summit, but we're calling it Financial Independence School. And I think that's what you saw earlier. And I'll show you that, where you'll be able to sign up for that. And you can go in for free for that. We're gonna have over 30 speakers that are gonna teach you financial independence. So we have that. And let's see. Okay, so this is it. Any questions right now? What happened to the questions? Because we're at the Q&A. You can actually, if you want, you can unmute and ask your question here. And let me just see, where's the chat? Here we go. Nada, show the page. All right, I'm gonna show the page. All right, let me show you the page. Let me just stop sharing. And I will show you. That's not the page, right? Hang on. Here it is. Okay. So this is the financial independence. So it's going to go behind the scenes with 30 plus world-class financial independent experts. Okay. And so you're going to learn the tools to become financially independent, so you'll never have to worry about money again. And this is the claim, right? Well, you'll find out because it's free. So you'll find out for yourself, but there are some heavy hitters, and we're getting more coming in all the time that are going to be, as we get more speakers come. I'm building this thing out. You can see I've got my WordPress stuff up here, and we're building it out right now. But you're going to get a free pass when that comes out. You'll be able to go in there and get your free pass and to go on into this into the financial independence school. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Earth here. And if you want to just unmute yourself and say hello, and did you find that this, was this helpful to you?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Shaq. So
yeah.
When you send the emails with the replays,
yeah,
please include the recipes for the lentil stuff, because every time I talk to you, it's
you
like,
got hungry.
you got that, and
you got hungry. Well, okay, all right. Let's find out from everybody here. What was your favorite part? Was it the Norito, or was it the lentils? Come on, fess up.
No. I think the one the
pizza.
Not the pizza. The
Norito. Or the taco?
No, the burrito, the lentil burrito.
Okay, you like that one. All right. Yeah. I bet Kelly, you've had the lentil tortillas, right?
Yes, I've actually not had them with red lentils, so I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I tried all kinds of these things. I tried the brown lentils. I tried quinoa. I tried all kinds of different things. And the red lentil, because what I found is that a lot of these other ones kind of have that raw green taste. But the red lentils is really minimized. And when you cook them up and put stuff in it, you don't taste it. It just tastes yummy. It really does. So
Did you try them with the green peas?
yeah, sure. Those are good. Sometimes I make a mix and it's really good. Yeah, that's also good. Put some green peas in there as well. So
Yeah,
y-
I
yeah,
asked because I became a vegetarian, actually pescatarian lately. So I'm looking for new
he's
excitement.
upgraded. Oh, there you go. So Kelly, do you have any questions?
Nope. I like that Pomodoro technique. I think that's going to be really helpful working from home.
Yeah, here,
Oh, yeah.
let me, yeah, that is a very good tool. You just look it up. What is it? Google, if you have a Chrome, there's a
That
Chrome.
Pomodoro technique. That's it.
Yeah, type in, but there's a Chrome app and it's called, I think, or there's, I think it's Brain Focus or something. It's a little clock. Let me see if I can show you my, I'll show you, hang on. Can you see my screen? Am I sharing my screen? I'm not. Okay, hang on. I'll show you mine. And it's a little cool app. Hold on, let me just share my screen and I'll show you here. Hang on, share. Oops, we're here. Let's get rid of this. How do I get rid of this thing? All right, I gotta move this down and move that down. Oy vey. Where did it go? I thought I had it. Okay, here we go. All right, see this little tomato here? So it's a little app. Let me see what it's called. It's called the Marinara Pomodoro Assistant. Yeah, there it is, the Marinara Pomodoro Assistant. I just go like that. It's 25 minutes already set for my first Pomodoro, session, and then it goes off. There's a little alarm that pops up on your screen, and sometimes it's annoying because it interrupts you from whatever you're doing. But the point is, it's supposed to do that. That's the point. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point of it. So it's a very cool little app, and you can, like I say, if you go online, you can learn a little bit. But this is not brain surgery here. You know what I'm saying? And you certainly don't need to buy anything. There's no point. I mean, there's no need to buy. So it's free. So these are like free tools, and they're very helpful, especially if you're trying to multitask. By working at home. It's crazy. Have you experienced the blurry day? Anybody here explains the just like you don't have really time. It's just the whole day's a blur.
Yep.
Yeah, you have that. Tim, you have that?
I think Tim doesn't have much.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Have the
yes.
type of, yeah. Sarah, how about you? We have Sarah. Oh, Susan, that's my wife, I think. Is that you? Oh, okay. Tim has the blurry day too. Sarah, do you have that?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, okay. There's my holy wife is here. Wonderful. So,
Yeah, I find that they all kind of blur together.
What's that?
They do all tend to blur together.
Yeah, I see that's the problem of working at home. It's because you don't go anywhere and you don't come back. And in fact, there could be days I don't even leave my house, which is kind of crazy, And now, I mean, that's we're because of the corona, we're not leaving our house, but I didn't have anything different. That's what I'm doing anyway. And It's really, you have to force yourself to do these things. And that's why that little tool is so good, is it changes, it's all of a sudden interrupts what you're doing. And then you have to tell yourself, I've got to get up. I got to take a walk. I got to go outside. You got to do something else. And you have to remember that there are the reason why you're working, if you have family and all the you need to spend time with everybody, and we just sort of get sucked into this whole computer thing. And I had a very interesting experience. Was it yesterday? And I think I wrote about it in one of my emails to you guys. What was this thing about the there? We're all trying to get there. And when I started to look at the word there, I saw it within the word there is here. And that's where we really need to be. There is no there, and there is always going to be there, but here is not. The here and now is not. So it's important for us to realize that it's the here. What we have here, it's Tim says, I worked until 2 a.m. and I got up at 4 and I lost so this is the danger of working at home, and we're fooling ourselves thinking that we're going to get somewhere. It's like that whole idea of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What you have is what you have right now. Enjoy what you have. There is no getting there, like I say, and there is not going anywhere. there is always there, but here will not always be here. And that is the message that I'd like to share with you right now. So I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm going to send you out, you know, the email with your presents, and if you want, I'll send, you know, I'll find that link to that marinara thing. If you don't find, you know, and if you like those recipes, I'll send you the recipe.
Oh,
yeah, very simple to make. You know, be part of working at home. You need to have simple things. You need to, you know, you need simple, good things that you can make very quickly, that, you know, that are healthy, that will fill you up. Otherwise, you're going to eat, you know, junky stuff and burn yourself out. And you just, you know, it's already hard enough. You know, this will make your life easy. These are delicious and satisfying. Two of the qualifications for any type of good food in my book. So it's a pleasure to meet you all. If I can be of any help and service to you, please, you know, feel free to reach out. You know, whatever, if you have some questions or something you want to ask me, then, you know, I'm happy to, you know, I'm happy to help you out.
thank you. You made me hungry. I'm going to eat now.
Well, that, at least I'd made, you know, I had some kind of influence. Yeah. Okay. The red lentil pancake is really satisfying. That's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. And feel free to reach out. Like I say, I'm just like you guys. We're all the same. We're just, you know, here trying to do the best we can. If, you know, if you have some tips to share to me, as you got some recipes, feel free to send them on over.
Thank you, Abraham. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. It was a pleasure celebrating it with you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
There we go. Hi, sweetheart. Where is she? You there?
That was good.
That's my wife there. Hang on a second. No, I have to